Whole macro numbers looking downwards at historic lows. What were you really thinking of when you were presenting this budget? Did you have to balance a lot of factors? You had to keep growth in mind on one hand and all the rest of it on the other.
Absolutely. It was the desire of the government that we address every section which was expecting something out of the budget, if possible. So our attempt was to make sure that we came up with something which would boost consumption, put money for investments and creation of assets, and with private investment being at their pace, and I'm sure they will catch up also. We did not want to, at any point in time between July and now, cut down on public investments. On the contrary, we have only increased it. So the capex between July and now, if you look at the data, has only gone up. So in a way, we were very clear that whilst we were addressing the supply side issues, it was time for us to make sure that the consumption and also investment, because we wanted to boost up demand, had to be kept up. And that's the story.
How has the budget addressed these two big concerns, that that there is the demand side problem, and the economy is investment starved? So how have these twin issues got addressed with your budget?
And that is one of the reasons why I started by saying private investment will do their own whenever they would take their call on it, and we have given them our intention by cutting the corporate tax. We brought it down to a lowest level. So we wanted to tell them, we believe now that you will make decisions with such an attractive tax rate. But from the other side, from the government side, we wanted to make sure the money was going for investment, and that is why the Prime Minister's announcement on Independence Day, Red Fort address, he spoke about 100 lakh crores in the next 5 years. We didn't wait for the 100 lakh crores projects to come. We ourselves spent a lot of time talking to states, talking to different private sector people, and putting together a pipeline of 6,500 projects, some of which are greenfield, some of which are brownfield, but all of which, if only attended to through state governments or through private participation with central government, can make a big difference to the entire environment. One, by creating the assets in the infrastructure sector, and two, by making sure that the cascading effect of that will bring in positive impact on industries like cement, iron and steel and so on, and also give in situ employment opportunity for a lot of people. Now, if that is the way in which we wanted to make sure money was going for investment, I was not just talking off the cuff. One investor facilitation center is being started. Sovereign funds who have all in the last 6 months been contacting us because they see India as a very positive investment destination. They want to come and invest in India. For them, we had to keep the pipeline ready. No point if they reach here and then search for projects. More than that, we've also given them concessions in our fiscal policy. We've given them tax concessions so that if they came and specified, while giving the tax concessions, specified that if they were going to spend it in infrastructure, lock-in period being a certain number of years, 3 years, we will give them the concession. All this has been tied up. So we are not talking today for it to happen some years later. Everything is kept ready. It should all start playing out sooner.
I'll come back to this point a little later. I want to ask you